Gods and goddesses in training, welcome back to the channel. It's Uncle Makura. Let's get started today. Happy Shiva Ratri, happy Women's Day. You already know the drill, okay? So today we are speaking about a topic which is very, very key and very, very important. And maybe some of you clicked on this video because you were curious, okay? Now it's very important to have curiosity and play in our lives. A lot of us as adults were cut off from the circulation of that power and truth and divinity. You see, a lot of us came through the understanding that sex is a bad thing, that it's taboo, that no fetishes are bad. And taboos or fetishes make us feel like we're breaking the rules. So first of all, think about taboos as a rebellion, right? A way that you can access your subconscious desires indirectly. That's what fetishes are, okay? Think about this. This is a secret hidden reason for fetishes and your own sexuality, okay? Your fetishes come through your traumas in a sense. Let's say that you were hit a lot in your family, now you want to be abused by your partner, let's say. Or let's say that you were made to feel like you were ignored, and so now you like blowjobs because now it's like you have all the center of attention, right? And if you're like fetishizing, you know, sexual robots, like time stopping or like dead, like necro stuff, you probably have a very, very big social phobia and you have a very low self-esteem. So you feel like you are going to be rejected. And these are opportunities for you to indulge in your sexual fantasy of never being rejected again, right? Because a dead person cannot reject you. A person where time has stopped for them cannot reject you. A robot cannot reject you, right? But a human being can. So this is coming back to the understanding of the compassion and the understanding that you hold in your heart, that look at your fetishes objectively, rationally, right? Think about them. When you really think about them, you get to a deeper level of your own beingness and your shadow work. And it will make you a powerful and masterful lover to know this as well. Because if you know what turns you on, your kinks, what arouses you, you will notice the pattern with which you are unable to manifest that certain quality in your real life, in your day-to-day life. And so it gets sent to the back of the brain, it gets repressed, and it shows up as a kink or a fetish. I mean, it sounds weird to say, but let's say that someone is really into piss play or something like that, right? Pee. The other person is drinking okay, this is very weird to say. Make sure you're 18 and older, by the way, if you're watching this channel. Let's say that that other person is drinking this other person's pee through a sexual fantasy type of realm. Maybe they want to completely absorb the other person, like they feel like their pee is their sacred nectar. And so if they drink it, they will also be like them. So it's like a codependence or something, right? And I'm just giving you that as a one example, right? And I'm not here to kink shame or fetish shame, like, hey, everybody's into everything, right? They could be immoral, unhealthy, healthy, you know, strange. Yeah, we have our preferences, we have our opinions, we have our objections, right? We have our red flags of things definitely that we won't touch, right? It's very, very important that you recognize this within yourself, because this is going to be coming up again and again as you become an adult, a loving adult in a relationship with somebody else. You might notice your partner is into some different things than you know, and a part of the reason why is because we have these unmanifest desires, these potentials within. Let's say that you've never felt a sense of control. What if you start gaining a sense of self-control and self-mastery, having control of something in your life? You start going to the gym, you start improving your life. You see what I'm saying? Rather than what? Being at the effect of everything in life, right? Just start being the cause, be the ripple, be the one who leans in, right? Let's say someone is being overly dominant. You've heard the term hurt people, right? This comes down to your sexuality too. So someone who's hurting somebody else during sex has probably been hurt. It's important for you to understand that a person's sexuality mixes with their mental health, and it actually skews into all different areas of your life. Think about this. if you live your life like a really good sex life, like what is a really good sex life? You pace yourself, you're having multiple blissful experiences, you are slowing time down, you're allowing yourself to be creative and innovate, you're allowing yourself to watch your breathing and breath, right? All the things that you do in a healthy sexual life are things that you need in life in general, okay? So think about this, because you were probably taught the opposite, like don't look at this, or maybe you're like, man, I'm kind of grossed out by the anatomy, right? Now, there are many reasons for this, guys, okay? We have to think back, because we have these flashbulb memories associated with sexuality, man. We have these moments, some guys call it their spank bank, right? Just like moments that have turned them on throughout their time. Can you think back to the moment when you were first aroused by something, right? Think back to the first initial spark, that one moment. For me, it was understanding like the femininity aspect of a woman, like me being very turned on by that, because I understood myself. It reminded me that I'm a man on this journey, right? So it was like a reflective thing. So I do remember, this was like middle school or something, right? And there was a very cute girl, like she had an aura, like a glow about her, right? But I was kind of confused because she had very short hair, and I'd never seen a girl with short hair before, right? And so I was like, whoa, I'm kind of drawn to this energy. I don't know what this is, right? I'm kind of confused at that young age. I don't even know what this is, right? But then I noticed her like wearing a dress and, you know, wearing jewelry and starting to speak in a very eloquent kind of feminine way, right? A radiant way. And I was very drawn to that. So that probably created a pattern for me, or something that I look for, you know, in a partner, or somebody who's maybe creative or nurturing, or just, I really like silly and like carefree girls, you know, just like you can make jokes, you know, have my sense of humor, just can laugh all day, every day. But this is not a dating channel, guys. What the hell? Why am I telling you that? There's a reason to all of this, right? So think back to all the memories, like first time you lost your virginity, right? Think back to moments where there were like pivotal times, like your first kiss, right? These things usually create like an emotional spike in the mind, right? And if you string all of those emotional spikes together, I'm just speaking from my perspective here, guys. This is not like a scientific study on this. But if you think back to all of those emotional spikes and you string them together, you'll understand almost like your fetish code, right? Your erotic blueprint, in a sense. There's a quiz you can do called Erotic Blueprint, I believe. It was in that show or whatever on Netflix, Sex, Love, and Goop, I think. I don't know where I got it from, to be honest with you. Breakthrough Blueprint or something like that. But yeah, through that, I mean, I found out that I was a shapeshifter, right? But that tells me a lot about my urge to merge as an empath. You get what I mean? Like, I get it. Like, I'm gonna merge or shapeshift according to, you know, the other person. But then again, it's like, there's a dark side to that, right? The people pleaser side to that. But then there's also this powerful aspect of me shaping and creating my reality, you know, being a completely new person, or maybe even role playing, right? Let's say you do that quiz, the Erotic Blueprint one, right? And you get a result of, like, let's say you're a person who's very sensitive, right? So you like feather play, you like, you know, just tickles, different senses, right? Sensory experience, candles, incense burning, you know, sights, different things you can see, colors, lights, you know, things where you get a mood, an entire mood of an experience, right? So once you know this, you need that mood in order to amplify your sexuality, your arousal, right? But imagine if you had this frequency wherever you went, right? In certain environments, you would want to close up, right? You don't want to actually be sensitive towards that, because you're like, I don't want to absorb that. Think about it, right? But if you could carry it like almost a jetpack within you, you understand you have this ability, right? Like, let's say I have the ability to shapeshift. That's like a superpower for me, right? I'm not going to deny that. I'm going to morph in real time, right? Not keep it in my fantasy, not keep it suppressed in the back of my subconscious. Find ways to get what the sexual act is giving you, the desire. What does it want, right? It wants orgasm, but craving for orgasm is a craving for oneness or wholeness or integration or healing, right? Let's say that your authenticity was stifled growing up. You weren't allowed to be very free or a certain type of way. But now when you grow up, you want to be sexually experimental. So that repression is still there, right? It's in the background of you wanting to try these things. So instead of suppressing it and being like, that's never possible, I feel powerless, what is the hidden cry, underneath the surface of that particular fetish, right? And once you get that, you can then figure out ways to involve yourself and to manifest it into your waking life, so you don't have to constantly be in your mind and over-sexualize everything, right? Because that's what the world is making us, honestly. And you got to understand that, when I say desexualize, I don't mean turn yourself off completely, right? Make yourself asexual, right? And that's not what I'm saying at all. Desexualization is being conscious of the fact that I can take off this layer of sexuality from an interaction if I choose to. And I need this as a practitioner too, guys, right? Now, if I'm speaking to someone, let's say, someone attractive, a client in a session, there's going to be transference of that. So I've got to be very observant of that and take away that screen of like sexuality, right? And again, this is like biological, right? So it's not something you can micromanage, right? But it is there in the background. But just removing it completely, speaking to another person, human to human, you start interacting from that level. Hey, what's going to be better for you if you are about to have sex, right? And you get into your head about it, or you experience it, right? Like, what's going to be better? The experience of it, right? So again, the fetish wants you to get some kind of an experience that is going to remind your consciousness of healing. So let's say that someone loves to like have someone take care of them really well, like being pampered and whatever, like be a princess. It could be that they were given that in their childhood, or they weren't given that in their childhood, right? So either way, it's a reactive thing, right? Either way, it's a process of them understanding something deeper about their own hidden human nature. I mean, why do people like a certain ethnicity more than others, right? Or why are they drawn to that? It's like, we like differences sometimes, or novelty, right? If we're just dating a clone of ourselves, which a lot of couples do look like each other, let's be honest, right? Instead of that, it's like you have this difference, and then your genes can be innovative, right? It's like these two completely different beings, almost like two different species, right? Because if you think about it, it's like two different cultural clashes sometimes happens, right? With two different people from different cultures or different religions, there's always that clash. And maybe there's something within the person that is also clashing with their culture. So it's like, hey man, it's got to be well-rounded, okay? Well-rounded, okay? Look, your mind will take you on a sexual journey all the time, especially if you're a man, you have high testosterone, okay? You're thinking about sex all the time, right? How about you just close your eyes once in a while, right? And you just allow yourself to go on that visualization journey of those sexual fantasies. Make it into your meditation is what I'm saying. Don't fight it. Don't resist it. Don't stuff it in the back, okay? Stuff in the back in a different way, though. Ooh. BBA, what are you doing, man? This video is dedicated to BBA, okay? Some people don't know what that is, but that's for the adepts, so people of Primal Sutra to really know what that is. But yeah, man, it's cool to explore your own hidden taboo, right? Like, if I go to another country, women are gonna look at me like, who's that guy with the caramel skin, right? Damn. Who is he? Right? He looks different, looks exotic. Hey, you white guys might have experienced this. You come to Asia, bro. You're praised as a god or something, right? These are all symbols. I understand this as a shaman, right? These are all symbols. And the more symbolic you can get with your own journey and your own fantasies, right? You can actually manifest using your orgasm. You guys know that, right? Because you're sending, feeling, heightened emotion, heightened arousal, right? Feeling towards that vision, right? So think about that. I mean, that's really powerful to understand. And if you can use your partnership with somebody else to reprogram each other, heal each other, expand, cleanse each other, imagine if you had a capacity to heal each other in a partnership, in a couple. Like, the man gets the replenishing feminine essence and the woman gets the protective masculine shell, right? and together it's like this pow pow pow, right? Man, that's like you know, cut scene to a movie where all the orgasms are shown as like fireworks or like a, you know, a champagne bottle popping or whatever. Think about it. It's all in images, right? Our reptilian brain speaks in images. Our most ancient part of our brain speaks in images. And so if you can incorporate those fantasies, those fetishes of those images that are just distracting you throughout the day, and you revitalize it through your waking life, you know, you start to merge with it, you start to meditate with it, you start to not resist it so much. You, okay, man, I'm a sexual being. Come on now, what's up, right? Because you've been shaming this aspect of you, maybe for so many years now. But guess what? Has it been getting you the proper life that you want? It's like, you're like, I keep attracting the same kinds of men. Look at the patterns. Study it. What's really going on here? Okay? Because your fear will make you manifest too. It's still a heightened emotion. Heightened emotion has an ability to change timelines, okay? So even if I know something negative is happening, I know something positive is about to happen as a byproduct of that negative thing, right? I know the pendulum swing of this thing. So I understand if I'm being pulled back, I'm a slingshot, okay? Seriously. And that's gonna motivate you and guide you today. Okay, think about this today. I hope this helped you out, man. Breathe into that prana, that chi, that mana, that Super Saiyan energy, man. Get your aura up, stay shining, stay glowing. You already got this. Upward spiral, gang, 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 to infinity and beyond, us.